Matt. Holy smokes. Good morning. It's beautiful out here. It's Friday, I think it's November 13th, and it's the 7th day that I've been hunting straight. It's brutal at this point. This is my 5th all-day set that I'm planning on today, but hopefully I get it done in the next hour or so. I gotta be real quiet. I'm sitting on this northwest block of timber again that I was on 2 days ago. Saw a bunch of different bucks in here, and yesterday morning the wind was wrong. I couldn't get in here, but I had pictures of 2 bucks that I would love to shoot that popped into this wood lot right before first light and right at first light. So I'm hoping straight west wind right in my face blowing into the field might catch one of these bucks cruising the eastern side of this timber block today, just scent checking everything. So I'm sitting right on top of that spot where I screwed up on that big 8-point with a busted off tine earlier this year. And this is the draw I'm sitting over that he walked up that day. So I've seen him do this, I think, 2 separate times over the past 2 years, so I know he likes to cruise this strip. So that's the plan. Gotta sit here all day long or until I kill a big buck. Hopefully I kill a big buck because I'm getting tired of all day sets. Matt. Holy smokes. I don't even know what to say about that. So many leaves are coming down out of the trees right now that you can't even really hear a deer walking when they get up close to you. And they were right on top of me at 20 yards out by the time I realized the deer were there. And I think every buck in the farm was behind that doe. And I was just trying to get the camera on the big one and couldn't get it done. He wouldn't stop. And they all ran out into the field, and then the one lost the doe and came right back underneath me. And it's just not the deer I'm in here to shoot. I know a lot of guys would have shot that deer, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, I know there's great deer in this place, and I'm just not gonna shoot one that I'll be disappointed with later. So still got a case of the shakes. Just feels good to be out here, be alive, enjoy this. I mean, that doe's still in here somewhere, so I'm gonna sit all day. I mean, hopefully she ends up running around in here a few more times and might get a crack at that big one, but we'll see what happens. I got a lot of time left today, so it's not even, what time is it? It's 8:30, so it's just prime time right now, so hopefully they come back. Matt. Oh, God, thank you. Oh, man. Wow. Oh. Yes. Man, that feels good. Oh, I drilled him. He's done. Oh, man. Oh, I don't even know what to say. After having all those bucks come through here this morning and then having that one 2-year-old come underneath me, and I wanted to shoot him, but I didn't. And I just knew there was a good chance another buck would come down that line where that doe was. And sure enough, it happened. And I drilled him. I watched the blood pour out of that deer when he ran off. So, man. 8:59 in the morning. It's been 3 years since I killed a buck, and I've been waiting through an awful lot of close encounters. And it hasn't been right, and it hasn't been my time, but this morning was my time. And it feels awful good. I'm not gonna lie. He came right down that same line that doe and all those bucks were on this morning. Stopped, I don't know, he's probably 25 yards in front of me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna give him, I don't know, a good half an hour. I'm pretty sure he's done. But I'll give him a good half an hour and then get down and go start that track. Boy, that feels good. You can see my stands right there. Just about a 25-yard shot, so I'm guessing he was standing right in here somewhere. So I'm gonna start looking for blood right in here, and there's blood. Bubbles. That's exactly what you want. Looks like he went down through here. Great big old buck rub right there. Oh, look at that. What a beautiful sight. There he lays. Look at that. Well, I've got him out in the sunlight here. Get a little better look at him. You know, he's probably not the biggest deer I've ever killed, but I've always said I'm not going to apologize for shooting a deer. And, you know, I'm beyond thankful to have had a crack at this deer. It's been a tough couple of years. You know, I mentioned in the tree, it's been a 3-year dry spell for me. I killed a beautiful buck on opening day 2017. And since then, I've had a couple of scenarios go down where, you know, it just didn't work my way, or I had opportunities, but they were at deer that I just didn't want to shoot at. And this morning I had just an awesome buck parade come through on that hot doe. I mean, that one deer was just an absolute giant, and got my heart pumping pretty good. And when this deer came in on the same trail that doe laid down, you know, my heart was pumping pretty good, and I decided I was going to take a shot at him if I got it, and I made it count. So put it right in the 10 ring. He went, I don't know, 70, 80 yards, went down, and I'm beyond thankful. So get home, go show my kids. My little boy is pumped beyond words. He knows that daddy shot a buck, and I can't wait to go home and show the kids. So I've got one more tag. I've got a number of good deer to hunt this year, so I'm really hoping I'll get another crack at one before the season's over. So thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, bow hunt or die. All right, guys, so if you look, I took a spare arrow that I have sitting here and I stuck it through the entrance hole, and then I put it exactly where it attempted to come out on the far side of the deer. You can see the deer's hanging right now, so its front quarters are dropped down low and forward. It's not the position the deer was in when I actually shot him. And this far side shoulder, you can tell it's shattered on the inside. You can see how loose it is. This shoulder was more in like this kind of a position when the deer was actually shot. I can feel this whole shoulder is completely broken on the inside right now where the arrow tried to come out on the far side. So I'm going to take the front quarters off the deer so I can get everything finalized and butchered. When I do that, I'll give you a look on what the inside of that shoulder looks like. So I just got this far side shoulder blade off the deer, and I wanted to take a second to show you guys something. We've definitely read the comments. We see you guys posting. We don't get a lot of pass-throughs on deer. And first of all, there's nothing wrong with shooting heavy arrow setups and single bevel broadheads and all of those types of things. They're great setups. What I would also recommend, though, is think about shooting high energy setups with wide cutting diameter mechanical broadheads. There's nothing wrong with them. I personally shoot a Spitfire XXX. I've shot a lot of them over the years, a lot of different mechanical broadheads. That's the head that I like the most. I've had a lot of success with it. It's a 3-blade, 2-inch cutting diameter head. I'm also shooting the kind of setup that can take advantage of that kind of a broadhead. So I've got about a 30.5-inch draw length. I'm pulling 72 pounds, and my arrow's about 530 grains. It's going something like 293 feet per second. I'm producing a lot of energy with this setup, so I can take advantage of that kind of a head. If you look, this is the inside of the far shoulder blade on that deer that I shot. And you can see a massive hole in here. And instead of wasting all of the energy that my bow is producing by putting the arrow 12 inches into the ground on the far side of the deer, what happened is I put a massive wound channel the whole way through this deer. He went 60 or 70 yards and piled up. And if you look, I completely shattered the far side shoulder blade, including the thick ridge, I'm fairly certain, on that shoulder blade. And the deer just, you know, it just created a tremendous amount of damage internally, and that's why he expired so quickly. So again, nothing wrong with heavy arrows and single bevel broadheads, cut on contact broadheads. They're great setups, and for folks that have shorter draw lengths, they're not pulling as much weight, I would highly recommend you think about a setup like that. But if you're pulling a lot of weight, you have a longer draw length and a very highly efficient bow, a big cutting diameter mechanical is not a bad option either. And you can see that quite obviously from what happened. The deer went 60, 70 yards, and also, I mean, it passed almost the whole way through the deer. It barely stuck out the hide on the far side, and it completely shattered that far side shoulder blade.